begin to let the breath start to flow. Deep inhales. Beautiful, relaxing exhales. Flowing in and out. Helping us start to explore with opposition. The idea that we're playing with today is the idea of balancing yin and yang energies. These energies are absolute opposite. So anything that's opposite, one could be considered yin, the other could be considered yang. So sunlight compared to moonlight, sunlight has so much more warmth and energy, so that would be yang. Moonlight is so much calmer, cooler, and so that would be more of a yin quality. And so what we're going to play with today is taking series of several yang poses back to back to back, getting some of the strength, some of the warmth in the body, getting some blood flowing and our heart pumping. And then after that, we'll purposely take a longer break than we normally do some of our yin stretches so that our body gets to relax and it gets to ease from its already warm state. It gets to ease toward flexibility. So with that idea, that balance of yin and yang to lead us onward, let's begin here, taking our knees into the chest. And just a couple of moments to rock around on the low back, on the hips. Help this area feel really good. Know that you always have my permission to take breaks if the sequences get to be a little bit too much and you know that just taking a break will help you to be able to continue on. That's always going to be fine. But the first thing that we'll start off here is when the knees come in toward our chest, bent like this, we're going to twist our arms up to touch the outside of one of the thighs. When the arms rest back overhead, the legs extend out, and then we bend the knees in, crunching to the other side. So this is nice to start off by including some of the shoulder muscles and some of the oblique muscles. Nice exhale when you come in. Inhale to stretch long. Pay attention to the low back already. Make sure it's not arching off the ground. If so, raise your legs a little bit higher. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. As you rest the head down, the arms come in right by our hips. Legs extend up to the sky. And this motion isn't super exaggerated. It's not very much motion. What we do is lower the legs past 90 degrees, just a foot or so. And then the big part is the exhale, bringing the legs back in. You're trying to bring it in past 90, maybe even lifting the hips up a hair. Then we take that nice inhale when we start to lower just a little bit. Exhale, try to bring it in and maybe lift. So these are some of the deep abdominal muscles. So exhale in, inhale out. Always know you can have a slight bend to the knees and that would make this easier. But we've still got 3 and 2 and 1. Plant the feet on the ground. The last one in this series is lifting the hips up to bridge pose and rolling all the way back down. A nice exhale and inhale. Flow with your breath in and out. One more cycle, up and down. And then we'll enjoy our first little yin pose, a simple twist, knees start to fall over to the left. And know that when we're doing yin, it's a slow, gradual process. We're holding this a bit longer than we normally do in Yogilates. So think of it like chocolate. If you just kind of force the chocolate to go toward a certain shape, it's gonna break. But if you give it time for it to melt, it'll fill in all the spaces, all the little cracks. So that's our goal here, is not to immediately just get to the deepest spot and just kind of hold it, but rather see how many muscle groups of your back can start to relax. And we're always checking in to make sure that we're at our edge. So if you're here and this is way too easy, you really don't feel anything, find a way to make it deeper, such as taking the top leg a little bit more towards straightness. That might be exactly what you need to gently pull the spine just a bit deeper. So if that's the perfect thing, just come to that spot and pause. One more good inhale. And exhale, our knees are together as we start to lift up and then tilt it over to the second side. Again, don't feel the need to immediately force anything, just that slow, gradual relaxation toward flexibility. And just constantly check in, tune in with how it's feeling. Top leg maybe wants to go a little bit more towards straight to make the experience deeper. You absolutely have my permission to do that. Nice inhale. Exhale, the hip gets to go down. And this is going to be a cycle where we slowly increase with our speed. So the very first thing we'll do is the easiest, nice and gentle. Simply lift the right knee in toward your chest, extend the leg up to the sky, drop that straight leg down, and then slide the heel in until it's planted. Left knee in, straight, cycle down, slide in. And just continue that circular motion, right leg tracing a huge circle. And then the left leg. Okay, here we're going to increase this a little bit by taking our hands behind the head, lifting the head up. Now when the right knee comes in, we're twisting toward the left elbow toward that right knee. Other leg can reach out and then switch. If the reaching out is too hard, just set the foot to the ground, kind of resting it each time. So that is an option. Otherwise, extend, extend. Here is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the knees bend for a moment. Head can rest back to the ground. And this last one will be a variation of kind of combining both of those things by allowing ourselves to have the legs off the ground instead this time, doing huge bicycle circles. You can choose the speed, but make sure your breath is still easily flowing for your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend for a moment, taking just a breath or two, and then we're going to try to reverse the bicycle. One more huge resting breath. And so to reverse it, the leg extends out, it comes up, and then it bends. So out, up, bend, and then just continue the circles to that type of direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest this left foot down. Right leg gets to take a nice hamstring stretch. So grab onto it, gently pull it in. If you want to loosen through the ankle at all, that could be nice here. Otherwise, just keep this active leg pulling in. The straight leg is going to cross halfway toward the left side. It's that spot right when the hip wants to start lifting off the ground, and just pause right there. This gets us into the IT band. It helps our sacrum feel like there's a little bit more space on that right half. We'll give it a couple more breaths. As we start to release, this right thigh crosses over the left thigh. We take the thighs in toward the chest. We're trying to grab onto each ankle, or if that's too hard, grab onto the knees instead. Go ahead and relax the hands. The bottom foot rests on the ground. Just head to a twist for a little while. So again, this is a spot where you're not forcing anything, but you're just kind of letting all the ligaments, all the tissues just kind of melt for the stretch. One more good inhale. Exhale, hips go to the ground. Drop this right foot for a moment. Left leg takes its stretch up to the sky. So help it stretch. Just grab on and gently pull in. Heading toward that yin quality. We're aiming directly for that side. Ankles tight at all, you can absolutely take a moment for it. And at some point, cross this left thigh over, take an ankle into each hand. And here's a good point to remember that we can't be 100% yin, we can't be 100% yang. This goes for everything. Nobody's 100% good or 100% bad. Nobody's 100% right or 100% wrong. It's a nice mixture of all of it. And so with the yin and yang, you know, if you completely were yin, you'd be a couch potato and you'd never get anything done. If you're completely 100% yang, you would never sleep. You'd be a workaholic and you'd probably make your heart just die because it can't keep on going without rest. So this is that reminder to find the perfect balance for you on any given day of both, because we can't be either extreme healthfully. So now as we relax, we'll start to head to that last twist. The crossed legs go over all the way for that right side. And again, it's not anything forceful. And in fact, if you need to back off a little bit, that could be getting you just in the perfect spot. Otherwise, just continue to relax some of those ligaments, some of the tissues. Breathing into the spaciousness that we're finding. One more good inhale. Exhale to return. And let's slide the legs open to a nice figure X. The arms are opening up above head to the figure X. From here, the first thing we're going to start with is just elbows and knees. So opposite elbow and knee come into touch. And then rest that side down. Exhale, second one. Inhale to rest. One more each. And then after this one, we begin to take the arm and leg straight. So this one lets the head rest down. Straight arm and leg opposites touch and opposites to the other direction. And notice if both hand and foot touch down at the same time, or if you always tend to lead with the foot or the other. Good. And now we're going to start a combination of both. So you first touch the arm and the elbow and knee, and then you extend back out, and then you keep the same side straight, and then you can rest. Elbow and knee, stick with the same side straight, and rest. Let's take 2 more each side. Here's 2. And 2. Last 1. And 1. Good. So from here, continue to circle the arms up above head, and I stretch up overhead. We'll even head into the full banana shape. So let yourself cross the right ankle over the left ankle. Continue to scoot the legs off the left side of the mat. Up above head, hold on to the right wrist, and then scoot the shoulders off that left edge of the mat. A huge banana off to left. And notice where you feel it the most. Maybe hip, thigh, waist, shoulder, all sorts of things stretching out here. And also notice what quality you're taking so that we can balance that with the second side. So maybe you're a passive quality, you're just kind of relaxing open here. Maybe you're more active, you're pushing against the ankle and the wrist connections to go really deep into the flexibility. So you get to choose. Just enjoy it a little bit longer, whatever spot you come toward. Another good inhale. Exhale, start to release. We're taking the second side, left ankle over right, legs off the right. Up above head, hold on to left wrist and scoot the shoulders off the right. Take the same quality as before, whether that's just passively resting or actively pressing into it. Another good inhale. And exhale. And then from here, return back onto the mat. The feet are planted. So we're going to take one normal bridge pose, up and down. From there, right leg extends long. When we lift the right foot up, we lift the hips up toward bridge pose. And then hips down, right leg down. Plant the right foot, left leg does the same thing. Lift up, hips up, and down, down. Good. And then both legs extend out. We're trying to lift directly up, directly down, and slide back into bridge. Start that cycle all the way over. So bridge pose up and down. Then bridge pose with right leg. Up and down. Bridge pose with left leg. And then both legs slide out. Try to lift up and down. Plant the feet. Good. Normal bridge. Bridge with right leg. Bridge with left. And both. Good. So repeat like that a few more rounds. Bridge. Right. Left. And both. So 3 more cycles if you're still doing okay. Up and down. Right. Left. And both. Good. 2 more. Good, and then last set, everything. Get a good last one up and down. Good. Now take the right ankle up onto left thigh and just hug around that left side. You get to rest here, get to relax. Start to relax this right ankle off, the left ankle comes up, and we pause just as long, just as much time, just easing into that spaciousness. We'll take 2 more breaths on this side. And with that exhale, we'll relax. So now this next series has to do more or less with starting to build up toward good scissor motions. So the first thing that we're going to do is with bent knees, when we lift the right knee up, we crunch the torso up. The arms come down, right foot goes down. Left knee crunch. And crunch. The goal here is to try to get as much of the surface area off the ground as possible through the back space. 2 more each. And 1. Good. Rest for just a moment. Arms up overhead. Feel the rib cage arching. Good. Our next variation, you have the straight leg instead. So when a straight leg comes up, we crunch. And then straight leg comes up. And 2 more each. And 1. Good. Rest for just a breath or 2. Here's where it's going to start getting a bit harder. One leg goes straight, the hands go around the back side of the leg. Other leg gets to hover. So from here, we're going to do these straight leg switches, going back and forth. The hands are supporting it each time. Now, if you start to get tired, just jump down a few levels back to where we were just a moment ago. Two more each. And then rest for just a moment. We've got one more level in this, if your body's able to do it, and that would be using no hands during those straight leg switches. So that makes it quite a bit harder. So if you need to jump down a level, grabbing the hands, or using a leg resting on the ground each time, any of these variations are perfectly fine. So when you're ready, try to have hands resting down, and then one leg up, the other leg hovers, and start to switch. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's roll like a ball a few times. We're up to balance, and then rolling all the way back. Nice massage all the way up and down the vertebrae. Maybe one more time back. And then let's take our yin pose, just relaxing into cobbler. So the spine starts to melt forward, no sense of force. It's just the amount that it's willing to relax. So starting to lift the spine up. This next place, we get to have our hands resting on the ground. The knees are together. And this space reminds me of the cha-cha. So what we're going to do is lift the feet off the ground. We rock heart rate to one side. That's 1, 2. When we get to the third one, we go extend, bend, extend, bend, extend, bend. Cha-cha-cha. So then we go 1, 2, 3 to go cha, cha, cha. So that way we switch each time. So it's that third cycle to make sure we're in the other direction. Let's take it one more each side. Last direction. Good. Coming up to sit. Our left leg is going to be at just at the front of the mat. Our right knee is going to tuck behind us. And then the first thing we're doing here is a twist. So plant both hands off to that left side. Even continue to spiral as much as your spine is happy with twisting. When you get to that good spot, just pause and breathe. Good deep cycles in and out. The right hand now works its way behind us. We're heading for the right quadricep stretch. So if staying right here is about as much as that right knee can handle, that's okay. Maybe we continue to go down toward an elbow, both elbows. Some people can go all the way to the floor. But if the knee starts to lift, that's your sign that's a little bit too much for your body right at that moment. Take one more good breath in. Exhale, reverse our way up. The feet are still in the same arrangement. And then this time we start to go forward. If you go toward the angle of that left thigh, that'll be slightly easier. Going toward the middle of that front ankle is a bit deeper. Okay, coming up, switch the legs out. Now it's right in front, left tucked behind. And then the first thing is the twist. So hands plant off to the right side. And just continue to spiral until your spine feels really good, really happy with this. And just pause and breathe. The left hand starts to swivel open. We're going backwards. So just resting here. If that's where we feel the quad, that's great. Sometimes just that slight scoop under of the tailbone brings you into the stretch. If you need to back further down, that's fine, but just pay attention to the knee. Start to rise up. This is going either toward that right thigh side or directly toward top of mat. Okay, and now as we start to rise, take both knees underneath the body. Just a couple of rounds of cat-cow, making sure the spine is feeling pretty good. Don't feel any need to rush. Go as slowly as your muscles need to gradually open to both directions. One more cycle up and down. And then when the spine's at neutral, we're going to have our legs go back and forth between all sorts of different stretches, back to back to back. So first I'm going to start with my left knee. I lift it out to the side like a fire hydrant. And then when it comes down, that left leg straightens straight out behind me. I touch the toes down. I lift them up. Once I've done that, then I take the bent knee to the nose. I swing the bent knee back behind me, and then I pump up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I start over. So the knee out to the fire hydrant like a dog. Straight leg back, touch down, touch up. Bend knee to the nose. Bend knee up, pulsing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's repeat all of that 6 more times. So up. And up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more rounds. Side. Straight leg back. Knee to nose. Up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got 2 more. Side. Back. Nose. And pump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then one last round. Side. Straight leg. Knee to nose. And up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let that leg go straight. Cross it all the way over toward that right back edge of the mat. Then we're pushing the hips to the left as we gaze over our shoulder toward that foot. Good. Helping to ease the burn. Now we're heading to the calf stretch. So left toes at the back of the mat. Press back until you feel the calf stretching out. Left leg circles over to the side, drop down to elbows. And then last, it's up to lizard. So slide that left foot up toward the top left edge of the mat. Sink the hips forward. We can stay on wrists or maybe go back down to elbows. Okay, one more side with that. So we've got left knee down now. It rests the whole time. If fists are having troubles, if the wrists are having troubles, make fists. Otherwise, the right knee lifts up to the side. Straight back, lift. Knee to nose. Pumping up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side. Straight leg back. Knee to nose. Pumping up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side. Straight leg up. Knee to nose. Pumping. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side. Straight leg. Knee to nose. Pumping up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side. Straight leg up. Knee to nose. Pumping. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more rounds. Side. Straight leg. Knee to nose. Pumping up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side. Up. Knee to nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round. Side. Up. Nose. Last round of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Straight right leg, cross it off the left side. Pushing hips to the right, the gaze over to the left. Taking it to the calf stretch, left toes at the back, press back until you feel the calf. Then straight right leg to the right, lower down to elbows. And lastly, lizard here. So foot all the way up to the top right, sink the hips forward, continue to drop down. One more good breath in. And exhale to release. The knees can come together and we'll play with puppy pose. So leave the hips over the knees. The arms start to walk forward. We're trying to go for a really long stretch. So think of a cat or a dog when they stretch first thing in the morning. That's where we're trying to aim. It's a bit of an arch of the heart down. You can have forehead or chin. If you're on the forehead, you may be able to touch the hands together and swing the hands behind the back of the head. Just continue to keep the heart melting down. And we're pausing here a bit longer, so keep the breath flowing. Next inhale, Exhale, hands can drop down if they lifted. Start to sink the hips back to a nice wide knee child pose. Arms walk forward, just pause in this nice center spot for a moment. Start to take the right hand and thread it under that left armpit space. For me, this not only gets into the shoulder, but as I continue to try to walk myself under that armpit space, it's starting to spiral into the spine in a really good way. So now return the right arm, twist the left arm under and through. And when we return left arm, we'll take a lateral stretch. Hands walk off the left edge. As far as feels good for the ribs and the shoulders and the spine. And start to walk off the right edge. Good. Returning. Take a good inhale. A good exhale. And then as we come up to sit, I'll let you choose one last forward fold that feels good. This could be cobbler. This could be wide angle. This could be legs together. Just choose one last little forward fold that feels really helpful for the body in this moment. You're welcome to stay a bit longer if this feels good. Otherwise, we're going to start our journey towards Shavasana. So sooner or later, you're welcome to explore any other poses your body might love for you to take. Just keep on exploring until at some point, sooner or later, Shavasana is just the next natural thing to do. So no rush to get there, but for anybody who gets to Shavasana sooner than others, return to that idea of inhale and exhale being a perfect balance of yin and yang. If we were to try to live just on inhale, we die. If we were to try to live just on exhale, we die. It's just by having this perfect balance in and out. That balance brings us to life, to health, to vitality. So no rush still to get to Shavasana if you need more time. But when you get there, let the breath take over. Deep inhales and exhales. Begin to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Introducing little movements to the fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Eventually taking a nice fetal position off to one side. Enjoying 2 or 3 good breaths there. As we come up toward a beautiful seated place, we'll join our hands together in front of the heart, hands symbolizing yin and yang in perfect balance. So with this type of harmony and with the added perspective that this balance brings us, with that idea to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.